Been a while since you've seen me, and I know I've been promising everybody I'd start traveling and sending some videos again soon, so I will keep my word and I will send some videos shortly. Actually, by the time you see this, I guess that will be the video. So this is not a heads up, this will be the introduction. So tomorrow morning, I'm gonna rent a car and I'm gonna go for at least 10 days driving around the Balkans with a friend of mine. I don't know where we're gonna end up. I think we're gonna start in Kosovo. So this time tomorrow, I should be in Prizren. And after that, I don't know where we're gonna end up. Talked about maybe Romania, maybe going through Serbia, maybe up to Croatia. It's all up in the air, so we'll see where the adventure takes us. So maybe I'll visit 3 or 4 different countries, unless we decide that we wanna stay longer in one spot. But anyways, I hope to at least give you some good content in the next couple days. I've been driving for about 2 or 3 minutes now, and I already realized how much I don't want to say I hate the other drivers here, but it's just a different mentality. Like, you get to the roundabouts and people just don't know what they're doing there. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just coming at it with my American mentality of like there's ordered and there's a certain way to do it in the US, and maybe it's done differently here, but it's just so weird. I haven't been able to figure it out. It looks like it's pure chaos. Like, no one has the right of way. You just kind of have to force your way in. And if I try and give somebody the right of way at the roundabout, they panic and they don't know what the hell's going on, and we're both sitting there. So it's like, you just got to be aggressive on the roads here. And I'm gonna get stopped by the cops again. I always do. Even though everyone else around me drives crazy, I'm the one that always gets stopped by the police. So that's kind of annoying. Hopefully that doesn't happen too many times this trip, but I would be surprised if it didn't happen at least one time. We're down in Plage. I'm picking up my friend Kat. She's from Poland, and she speaks really good Albanian, and she also knows the surrounding countries here pretty well, you know, like Kosovo, Serbia. She knows a lot more about the area than I do, so she'll be a great companion on my adventure. Okay, we made it through the Kosovo border, so that's the first start of our trip. Well, we're gonna be here for 2 or 3 days probably.
Or maybe more.
Maybe more. Good. We always get nervous crossing borders. For no reason, but we just get nervous. Here we are in the center of Prizren. We just parked and we're trying to find some food now, and then we'll figure out where we're gonna stay later. So let's see if we can find some good food. It's a beautiful city though. You see we have a nice river flowing through town, the mosque there on the right, and the castle up on the hill. Trying to figure out why there's so many people. I realize it's a nice sunny Saturday. That's why it's so busy here. All right, first meal in Kosovo. So we have, what are these, cooked peppers? Some bread, which is the best. Kosovo has the best bread. Some cheese and a big meatball. And of course, some beer. It's much more peaceful right now than yesterday without all the crowds. So that's where I was yesterday trying to film, but there's too many people. Much, much better today. So this bridge that we're going across right now, you can't really see. I guess it's a pretty old bridge, but it was bombed during the war, so a lot of it's been reconstructed. I don't know if I mentioned there's a castle up on the hill, but we're not going to have time to check that out today. So one of the reasons I'm traveling right now is to check out some of the major cities around here and consider if I would live here for a month or two. And right now I really like this city, so I might decide to live here for 2 or 3 months. It is a really nice city. Tucked away in the mountains. It's beautiful. So this is the old part of the city. There's a new part of the city that has a big shopping center. I think I filmed a little bit of that yesterday. But this is where all the cool stuff is, in my opinion. That's where we had lunch yesterday. The food was pretty good. There's a lot of nice restaurants here. And this mosque is one of the main center points of the tourist area here. It's a little bit low here. I have to duck my head. I almost just stepped on a lizard, and that kind of freaked me out a little bit. It's kind of a desert climate here. The vegetation kind of reminds me of like Eastern Washington. There's still plenty of plant life, but it's a little bit dry out here. My buddy says he can't remember the last time it rained. He said it hasn't rained in like 8 months here. But it's really nice that they have the river flowing through town. As beautiful as Durrës is being by the sea, I've never really been a beach person, so for me this is much more interesting being in the mountains with it's a small river, but it's nice. So rather than sitting by the beach, you can sit by the river here in town, look at the mountains, especially this time of year with the snow back there, which is really cool. I don't know if I mentioned it in other videos or not, but Kosovo and Albania are basically the same people culturally. And it's my understanding that this place behind me is called the League of Prizren, and that's where back in the 1880s, I think it was, is where they formed the first Albanian government. So there's a lot of history here in this city. This is not the capital of Kosovo. That would be Pristina, which we'll go to later today. But this used to be the capital back in the day. So we're along a smaller canal now, and there's a lot of nice little cafes and things here, and it eventually leads to a park, which we're not going to explore all of today, but it's great for the people that are living here. So this is probably normally like a airsoft range during the tourist season, but right now it's just full of chickens. It's a little bit strange. Or maybe they want you to shoot the chickens. No. Well, we're pretty much done in Prizren. We've been here for about 24 hours, and it'd be nice to have more time, but we've still got a lot of traveling to do, so we're just gonna go have lunch, and then we'll hit the road. Now I'm hungry, and it's time for food. So in the touristy area of town, it just so happens that one of my friends who I met in Durrës happens to work at this Turkish restaurant, so that's cool. So we saw him last night. We're gonna go in there again today and get some food. So here we have some of the kebabs on the spikes there that they'll cook. That's mostly meat. That one there is vegetarian, which I think we might try. And you could sit here and you can watch them cook some of the food. But we're gonna sit outside because it's a beautiful sunny day. I don't know what it is, but it looks great.